So I'm just a cowboy from a small town in Kansas, and I'm honored that I've been temporarily elevated to a position of leadership. And I hope that over the next year, with my passion and my enthusiasm and the men I'm honored to work with every day, that I leave this fraternity just a little better than I found it, and that Shriners Hospitals for Children will be able to chart its course for the future, where we treat more kids in more places for the next 100 years. Born and raised in Toronto, Kansas, town of 275 people. My parents had a house in town, and we had the feed store and grain elevator there since 1947. I've worked there since I was 12 years old, the only job I've ever had. I'm an early morning riser. Don't mind going to work at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I like to get my 12 hours in by 5 o'clock in the evening, and that way I can come home, and then Cheryl and I, we enjoy dinner together, and we don't stay up very late. 9, 10 o'clock, we're usually in bed, and the next morning, 4 or 5 o'clock, here we go again. So I went 8 years of grade school in Toronto, and then our school consolidated with Eureka High School over in the big town, 20 miles away. The first day there, they had class elections, and she was elected a class officer. And so that's kind of where we first met. We were in a few classes together, but I can tell you that it wasn't really mutual to start with. I had to kind of step my game up. I had to buy a really nice car. She was hot. Shoot. She was smart. She was cute. She had everything. So just caught my eye, and that's the way it was.
He drove a nice car, and he was very intelligent, and I don't know, there was just something about him that just seemed to be kind of a challenge. I've always heard opposites attract. I think we're probably about as opposite as they come. I just think we complement each other. We bring out the best in each other.
He's always looking out for other people. He really is trying to make life easier and better for other people.
And I love that about him.
Our business is a multifaceted agriculture business. Started out with a family feed store, and then we've kind of grown it from there, where we have 2 other feed stores that feed into that one. And then I bought a store in Wichita about 20 years ago. I also have a wholesale cattle, mineral, and feed distribution company that we distribute in 4 states. And then if you're in the feed business, you gotta have something to try all the new stuff and eat all the mistakes. So we have a cow herd as well. And then my wife has a Farm Bureau insurance agent in Eureka, so we're pretty well diversified in what we do. So I think my work ethic totally came from my dad. My dad was a hard worker. As a kid, I think he was a hard worker from what I can find out on the farm where he grew up. Him and my granddad, his dad, started our business. We're in about our 73rd year of business there now, so we've had a good run. That business has grown a lot since we purchased it 20 years ago, and it's primarily because I got really good people that work there as well. They're very dedicated. Cheryl and I have been blessed with 2 remarkable daughters who were smart, athletic, never give us a bit of problem, and so they finally picked out husbands. Couldn't have picked out 2 better guys to be their husbands. They're great son-in-laws, and now we've got 5 really good grandchildren. I know everybody's a little prejudiced about that, but Corinne, she's our favorite granddaughter, and she's the oldest, and then we have 4 grandsons, Sutton, Reed, JJ, and Hudson, and they bring a lot of joy to your life when they're around, and they love coming to the ranch and playing around and having a good time, and that's what it's all about. Spoil them, feed them a couple cookies, let them drink some Mountain Dew, and send them home.
My grandparents are very inspiring people. They're really fun to hang around, and we do a lot of activities with them, and it's a lot of fun no matter what we do with them.
This is the perfect organization for them because they're very, very people-oriented. They are always giving of their time, and that's what they taught us is if you don't have money to give, you can always give time to help something out. And so, that is what they instilled in us, and that is what we are also doing now is we're showing our kids that volunteering is what makes the community better. They're living their dream. is awesome. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and they're getting the opportunity to do that, and they've worked hard for it.
Growing up, my dad started the Mason line when I started high school, so my freshman year in high school. He finished as Grand Master my senior year in high school. Then immediately that next year, he started the Shrine line for Midian Shrine and went through that. So I don't know a time where, Masons and Shriners haven't been a part of our life. This has been their dream for 11 years now, and I just hope that it's everything that they wanted it to be.
And I don't know if anybody has noticed his cap. There you go, all you chicken people out there. It's your choice.
I'm all about that beef, no chicken. I'm all about that beef, 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 beef.
Well, I might not have known it at the time, but in the end, I married the ultimate Masonic shrine wife. I can tell you that. Like I said, a month after we were married, I had her in a line at my lodge, and we worked almost exclusively in the Masonic Lodge locally, and then the Blue Lodge, then the Grand Lodge in Kansas. Just kind of morphed into the Shrine, and the Scottish Rite, and now this. She's extremely well-versed in what the Masonic Lodge is all about and what the Shrine's all about. Is she told somebody the other night, she said, I've probably been to more Masonic meetings than about 80% of the guys that are Masons, and I would guess that's probably right. And so it's extremely important. You can't do this job by yourself. I guarantee you that. It takes two. There's times when you're down and somebody's got to be able to lift you up. And I can't think of anyone that has represented the Shrine any better from the ladies' side than what my wife has. And I could tell you not only that, she's been intricately involved in all the ladies' seminars and has spent countless hours preparing books and educational materials for the ladies that's come to those. She's done a tremendous job wherever we've been.
Midian Shrine is definitely a family to us. We have made many wonderful friends there, and I think we at Midian are extremely fortunate because the women play a very significant role in, I believe, the success of Midian.
One thing that Shriners International does, and Jet has said this forever, is Masons make good men better, but Shriners International makes good men into leaders.
If I had to explain Jeff in one word, it would be exhausting.
It has to be integrity.
Integrity.
Dynamic. Anybody use that one?
Dynamic might cover that. He's a human dynamo.
Yeah, he is a dynamic person. To become the Imperial Potentate is such a road. And for somebody to give up that much time and of the resources to do that, I just can't commend him enough for doing that.
Well, I am passionate about what we do at Shriners Hospitals for Children, but I don't know that I'm any more passionate than the average Shriner. I've just been kind of temporarily elevated into a position of leadership, and I think my job is to try to move our hospital system forward, try to keep Shriners International, move it forward as well, help with membership efforts, and make overall improvements along the way and help those that I work with, not only our staff at headquarters and those that work at our hospitals, but also work with the Imperial officers that I'm privileged and honored to work with every day and try to make this a better fraternity and a better hospital system. Every one of them gives up a lot of their time, their personal talents that they give. It's a big commitment to commit to 10 and 11 years. And all the way up the line, and then as I was young coming up the line, or new coming up the line, and then now as I look back behind me and the guys that's coming up behind me, the camaraderie that we've had together, the friends that I've made all across the country that I wouldn't have got to know otherwise with that. And of course then, like I said, it's all about the kids and being able to make a difference in the life of a child. And I think that's the big thing. I mean, one trip to a Shrine hospital gets you hooked. And the fact that we've treated 1.5 million children and made their life different than what it would have been for the better is what we're all about. And Shriners Hospitals for Children is the world's greatest philanthropy, and it's something we all have to be very proud of.
Steph and I have been married about a year, and he said, Jamie, he said, I believe every man needs to be part of something bigger than he is. And I've never forgot that to this day. And Jeff is absolutely living that, which is huge to my kids, and it's a great example for them.
You know, he really puts his heart and his soul into everything, and he tries to do the best he can, and he spends long hours no matter what it takes.
When I first met Jeff and Cheryl, you know, the guy is just, he goes, and Cheryl does too. They have worked harder than I have ever seen any two people work. And it's not for them, it's for the fraternity. That's the biggest thing, is they don't necessarily do things for them, but they understand what the big picture is on everything.
I mean, I think they've done, you know, Eastern Star and Masons for years, and, you know, they've worked together, and I think they'll both be very good at it, and I think they enjoy it. You know, and that's what it takes. You got to enjoy what you do.
If he was a general in the military, he would be the field general. He's going to be shoulder to shoulder with everybody, you know, taking things forward.
You always know what you're going to get. He's not going to sugarcoat something.
It's obvious to everybody that he lives and breathes shrine masonry, all the way from the local lodge clear to the Imperial level.
Shriners Hospitals for Children is a remarkable hospital system. We do wonderful things for kids. But if we don't have the fraternity behind that, from our temples and the members to drive them, those temples to continue to go out and find children and to help our children get to the hospitals that we need, then the system's going to be completely different. So membership has to be the #1 priority we have. We need to continue to push that, and there's a lot of great programs that we have out there that if we can just get everybody involved to do that, you know what, we're going to turn this thing around, and it's going to be in the very near future.
Membership is such a vital part of our organization, and Jeff is progressive thinking enough to realize and promote the fact that, you know, it's time for us to toot our own horn.
I think his legacy is he will leave everything better than he found it, and I think that he will make a huge impact on people's lives, and I think that he will go out with a bang, just because that's his personality.
Well, I think it's pretty simple, everybody. You know, you got to have a God that you respect. You got to have a family that you love and respects you and loves you back. And then from there forward, it's just the people you surround yourself with. And I enjoy what I do. And I think if you enjoy what you do, it's not hard to go to work every morning. You have a choice every day when you get up. You can either get up and be in a bad mood, or you can get up and be in a good mood. And if you're in a good mood, you get up, your day's a whole lot better, and everybody else around you is a whole lot better too. Let's build membership. Every one of us has to look at everybody we come in touch with in a different way than what we ever had before. The people we go to church with, the people we work with, the people that we're in other organizations with, and we need to make sure that we get those quality people into our Masonic lodges and then become Shriners so we can turn this membership effort around, and in the end, we all help the world's greatest philanthropy, Shriners Hospitals for Children.